A good morning to all of you. Welcome to the breakfast show, and today is Friday. We are trading with TradeVSA 360. Of course, our Monday and Wednesday we'll be talking about using SMARTRobie, but today we'll be using the VSA 360 in here. And for some of our existing members, this is definitely more of a tutorial, it's a training to how we look at the market using the tools that we have and how we want to capitalize on the shorter term opportunity, as well as looking at some of the stock analysis that we have for you today in here. Now, if you have any questions of any stock review you want us to review via VSA 360, do pencil those in there and we are happy to look at them for you in here. Now, let's take a look at what we have for you this morning. That's right. In our VSA 360 exploring the power of 360, we are definitely be looking at our very popular dashboard among our members in here. And thank you for all of you who has given us a comment as well as sharing this video in your timeline. And I do hope what we share with you in this short half an hour or maybe less will be beneficial in the coming days that we have. But also check out our TradeVSA trading idea at our Telegram for my morning podcast every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. That's right, a very short one. Of course, our 360 in here, it's really a compromise of some of the best things that we have in analytics, looking at screeners, analysis, intraday alert, right, and also with the training. That's right, with our training that we have here and comparison. Of course, you can check it out from our planning and pricing in here. We have both two package. The shorter term are the 6-month package, it's going for 1,600 ringgit, and as well as the 12 months, which is going for 2,668, which comprise of the TradeVSA plugin that many of you have seen about the peak valley as well as the market stages and a lot more. Not just this in here. It's a whole way of coaching and mentoring to you. Now, of course, what is our 360 in here? We actually want to look at what to buy, what is likely we want to be in, and also looking at some of the existing portfolio which we were using much going back into February, when to sell, what is the stock like, in fundamentally, and is this safe to buy right now? So those are the idea that we'll be looking at each week in here. And usually, and if you have any question that you want us to look at, do let us know. And our VSA 360 in here, first one is which sector we want to avoid, which one we want to be in here, as well as using our screener to do how much of the allocation in our share trading in here. Last but not least is our masterclass, where we have a premium menu going into the intraday and the portfolio masterclass in here with advanced screener. For the fundamental trader investor in here, we are looking at a few things, not only on the target prices but also with the 5-year FA trend, floating share, pros and cons, and the Pentagon flow. But more important is the seasonality monthly return that tells a lot of the whole picture. So we will also be reviewing some of the portfolio that we have with our seasonality monthly return in here. Now, of course, top 3 things you need to know with VSA 360 in here is the overall green pentagon that we have, and right now the KLSE is 3 months high and it is hitting top resistance. We'll be looking at that, and also what are the sectors. All right, in short, all sectors has turned green, but healthcare and utility are turning red. What are the green pentagon stock? We can also check it out in our watches in here, and not to forget going forward, what are those that is likely to turn green. Right now still red. Yeah, okay, let's check out what is in our alert center this morning. Okay, let's bring out our VSA 360. So once you lock it in here, you see our VSA 360 and the charts. This is the revenue which already won in our portfolio, but let's look at what is in our 360 alert center here. You can see, bring it up. Right, you can see GDB has turned green pentagon, which is a RHP dual list. High liquid share ATA INS has turned green pentagon. UWC has turned red. That's also one of the stocks we were looking at. GCB, finally GCB, that's the food and get, because of the economic reopening, GCB has turned green pentagon. IJM, MYEG has turned red. Of course, all Zoom has turned red too. Kajaya, KGB, LC Titan, K-Power, wow, K-Power turning green already. Hyptech, all these are turning red. So take note, some of these stocks, Charimin, Top Glove, GHL, HP, MH Care, right? And so it's important for you to look at these and know what is a feel of the market in here. Chin is turning green in here. Of course, we want to look at one of the favorite with GCB. Click on that one. That will take you. This morning, we are down 1 point, but we are back to 295 in here. And let's take a look at this report, 30th of December. And M West is giving it about a 348. And wow, look at that one here yesterday. A big move. And we also seen all the FNB. I think this is foreign funds coming in to buy. We saw Nestle was up. We saw Carlsberg was up. So GCB is one of those stocks that decided to move up here. Dividend is still around 1%, PE of 10. And you can see this is moving back to almost touching back the $3 in here. Of course, if you check it out in the show me the money GCB in here, 10,000 ringgit holding for 6 years would be around 49,000. But the trend is a very nice uptrend. You could see here, except for the January 2020, that's where we have the big COVID-19. But I think this is a good recovery stock. Looking from that, total return here is around 220%, right? Not bad, yeah, not bad, I have to say. So this is definitely one of those stocks you want to be looking at, and been great except for year 2020. But last year, 2018, and this year it's up already 11% because of the bar that we see. But you're looking at it, average growth rate of 29%. Well, right now we have a 7%. So if we take this as a recovery in the chocolate intake, of course, what do? You can always go into GCB, just highlight here, cocoa products, cocoa butter. And so this is something that you might want to consider for a longer term in here. Shorter term, profitable business, very high trading volume. They have a bit of gearing there, and of course you can check out the website. If not, you can connect it here, or you can go over to the trading view, looking at the trend. That's something you can also do right now. So that's how we want to explore. Going back to our what we call for our alert center here, GCB. That's a good one here, right? What else do we have? All right, so all you got to do is log in and check out some of the stocks you're interested, and also pay attention to sector, right? So that's why we look at it. And if you have not done so, you can always subscribe to our package in here. You can try out the 6-month deal in here, a very good deal that we say in, and check it out. All right, let's take a look at the next that we have in here. So we've done a little bit on alert, is the sector review. Now, 17th of February, yesterday, we have 3 already turning red. You can see right at the bottom, healthcare, utility, and REITs. The rest are still turning green. Let's take a look at some of the sectors that we have. And now we go on to KLC sector here. Definitely plantation. We go on to plantation. Click on that one. You can see plantation was a nice big breakout. The ATR stop loss did trigger over here, but this is where the part, even going back to January time frame, we think that this market couldn't go anything. But when the likelihood of CPO prices hitting 6,000, and also there was some economic and also weather report that came out, and also harvesting. So, and the Dalian CPO prices are buying more, and this really shot straight up in here. So to me, this is really a going parabolic, and usually when it gone parabolic like what we've seen in the past here, this is one that we need to take notice of. All right, so this is the one still very trending. So what you want to do, if you do want to trade this targeting one, then you want to be looking at some of the second tier that has not run. I'm going to show you how to scan for that one. All right, so what you want to do is that you can see last week 10th of February all green, and right now we are seeing 3 already turning red. And also pay attention, the KLCI, okay, going back to the KLCI here, you will notice it's already turning. Let's go to the dashboard, hit the dashboard here, and you can see right now, just open up this big here, you can see we have 2 uptrusts. So generally when a lot of uptrusts, if the market can hold, right, but if there is a war, which is US Biden administration was talking about that the war is likely to happen next week. They said that the week before, it happened next week. The more they say it, the more unlikely to happen. So that's why pay attention to the uptrust. If you see any big sell-off, then maybe it's happening in here. But at the same time, we also notice crude oil prices are not moving higher. Okay, crude oil prices are not moving high. That's your first indicator. If you look back at the last 6 months, we are retesting back the old high here. 1, 2, 3. You can see here. And if you look back on a year to date, this is just the year to date in years. It's a new all-time new high here. And 6 month is, you can see here, this is why we talk about the resistance. And if you use a peak value, that's why here you have to be very, very careful. Very, very careful. Don't be so gung-ho, and take a look at the market for this overall. So the KLC sector in here. And okay, let's also look at the healthcare. Okay, the healthcare sector. And you can click on that one. That tells you healthcare is still pretty much in a downtrend in here. Despite all the green pentagon that we had, yet another red pentagon comes out, right? That we have Omicron. Every time when Omicron broke out, and then Omicron cases are getting high, but market continue to distribute on the scale of high. And at the end of the day, plantation will experience something like that. What rubber glove experience back in 2020. So take note of that. Right now, if you have a good healthy profit, take some and rotate to those that hasn't turned green yet. And to me, that is the next sector that we're talking about. That's right, that's a trendy sector that I was talking about. And even that, there are still a lot of potential that hasn't run up yet, which is the second tier around the 3 ringgit and the 60 cent, that level. You can go on to the page. Sorry, just move it aside here, page 3, just above here, and those are some of the stocks, what we call the second tier, that hasn't run, and it has a good risk to reward setup. I think you can go for a shorter term trade, anything less than 30 days, just to take 10-15% in here. That will be quite good in here. So that's me. So best accumulation as a best opportunity right now would be the technology stocks, right? You can see in here, just above my head here, technology stocks does hit green and uptrust, then the market pullback in here. So right now there is still a lot of them are still red. So that tells you majority of the technology stock are still in the red territory in here, going from MPI. Stay away from those that is less than 10 cents. You can see here. UWC has turned red too. Frontcan, Inari, Unisem in here, right? You have to be very patient in here. As long as we see the tech sell-off continue due to the Ukraine and Russian war looming in here, a lot of these are very depressed. But sort of those of you who are looking to buy at accumulation, you can see top there, that's the one that you'll be looking at. So we can also look at, let's take a look at Inari, having said that, yeah? Where is Inari showing me here? So I can go back to my dashboard, just key in Inari. Okay, and there you go, hit that one. And that chart still tells you here, okay, looking at the 6 month trend here and blow it up a bit, you can see it is a nice what we call accumulation in here, right? A nice accumulation, low volume in here, akan datang, all right? Akan datang. Of course, if you switch over to our, what we call, let me just take this away, right? And you go using a more advanced indicator, like using the Inari, using the peak value, you can see it hits back the low here, a 6% down, went up a 7% down in here. And to me, it looks like the bottom already been reached. You can see, right? Let me just scroll this up again. Bottom was 319, and this bottom was also 319, a double bottom already. So this is how we want to use technical and our peak value lines, all right? Ensure that and all you got to do is just wait for this green, all right? The green here, that's maybe a telltale sign. And this is part and parcel of our VSA 360. You can get it for a 6 month subscription. For those of you who have it, this will serve as a way to look at the stock analysis in here, all right? Hasn't turned up yet. Okay, so that's how we want to look at it. There are many, many more. And if you don't like Inari, you can also turn to the others. Now, these are the other stocks that was covered on the edge on 3rd of February with their average target price. You can see Inari is 454. That is 19 buy call. That's the highest, right? Sometimes too many high buy calls also not so good lah. I have to say, you may want to go for the second tier, upside 38. There's another one, MI Technology with a 91, okay, 91% upside. Let's take a look at that one, okay? So take a snapshot of this and check it out with the VSA 360 and how you can use this to look at some of the, but if you have enough technology stocks already, then just stay away with it and you just need to sit out this one and use VSA 360 or SMARTRobie to figure out, all right? So let's take a look at, let's go back here and go to MI. In technology in here, red pentagon, all right, you can see this is still in pretty much in a downtrend here. Even if you switch on to the 6 month, wow, look at that, way been falling a lot, been falling a lot in here, technology stocks. And okay, what else? Let's take a look at here. Right, last year up 99%, and sorry, this was 2021 7%, and right now that was the big fall. I think it misses, and some of the smaller tech that is not market leader, and usually this is what generally happen in here. All right, generally happen in here. Yep, I want to look at GDB. Yes, we will take a look at that one after this when it come on to the members or public feedback session here. Okay, so that's how you want to look at it right now compared to what are the good fundamentals support it. So that's why when you buy the technology stock, if you just do it purely for trading and our holding period, we always talk about where we want to see a little bit of upside, or at least we want to scratch your trade within 30 to 60 days. Think about that. 30 to 60 days, that is the time frame that you want to be in here. It's not something that you want to hold. Even if you look at this has turned red pentagon, broke through the ATR stop loss here. You could have got out and won't go through this kind of massive, big worry kind of thing. And that's always been what I talk about in here. No doubt the financials will continue to be good, and you can see all the trends under the financials. Look at the trading view. You can also see the company announcement in here under Bursa. Let's take a look if there's any announcement. So we are going to the Bursa website here. Still waiting for it to load. There you go. That is the announcement here. Okay, MY. Okay, there's a lot of this internal corporate announcement in here. Usually I don't pay so much attention to it, but I'm just going to look at the overall shorter term and the overall trend. You do know this trend is negative in here. Now, if you compare to the sector average, it's not too bad, right? The ROE is a bit lower. EPS, dividend, PE is slightly on the average side in here, NTA, right? And so this is what you want to be thinking, right? Do take note it here. It's over margin in here, and you have all your stage 1, S1, S2, S3, and so forth. Okay, so those are for M1. So from here onwards, you can sort of narrow it down where kind of stocks that you want to take. All right, let's move on to next one is our 360 for our watch list that we have. And last week we have UWC turning green pentagon, but this week, just last night, 17th of February, or probably you can't see it. Let me just move this up a bit more for you. All right, you can see right here. Okay, here, 18th of February, and that was the 10th of February, and then what do you know? Turn red pentagon after 7 days later, or 5 trading days. Okay, let's take a look at UWC and why it turned red pentagon. So we just go on to UWC here, and you can see that's right. This market, you switch to a 6-month chart here. Market turning red. It's going to likely to retest back to 01 in here. Hasn't hit the ATR stop yet. All right, but just be caution. And this is again the kind of pullback that we see. So this morning UWC is down another 1.5% in here. PE is about 53 times. Most of the PE, if you go back to the slide, I think, do I have the PE above here? No, I don't have the PE, but I just have the slide in here. So caution. So what we're going to do for UWC is to set a new lower boundary. Okay, a new lower boundary for that one. We're going to be doing that using the SMARTRobie in here. And so a new lower boundary. Oh, sorry about that. So new lower boundary, how do we find out? we just go over to UWC, we can see the support 418. Okay, 418 right now is 440, still okay. 418, that would also referring 418 to UWC. 418, which is, just pull this up a bit there, that's also the 418. So that will be the last support. A lot of time it will come back down, build a kind of, and also do take note, it's been down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a row already. So you see, like I say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? You will have a green bar coming up, and that's because the sell-off, you're not going to have 6 or 7 consecutive sell-off in here. And over the weekend, if the resolution, they're able to solve the Ukraine and Russia, and they will talk over the weekend. So far, the negotiation has failed, but this market, UWC, may pull back a bit. All right, but let's take a look at the others that has done pretty well. Hibiscus, okay, and so we go back to 360. So 360 for Hibiscus. We just wait for the chart to come out a bit here. I do hope that how I'm presenting for you to analyze these stocks make a lot of sense in here, and that right below there, there's a feedback for our breakfast show. If anything else you want us to help us to feedback to make it better, do pencil those in here, and we do take it. Some of them are asking about penny stocks, members are asking about penny stocks at the public, whether we review some of the penny stocks. Penny stock we can use the intraday, but penny stocks you need to be in and out very fast. So generally I don't recommend, especially the market now is not that, getting a bit bearish, so do be careful in here. Not the kind of market you want to be doing. Many of the newer members or unskilled members who have never been trained well or did not use any of our tools in here generally fall into the trap of trading those penny shares, and be prepared to lose money first also, right? So generally I want to stick to those that are trending up. No doubt they don't make a lot of money, right? But they are slow, they are steady. Like when we first had green Pentagon here, you can see the market has moved up. And even if you look at the overall R1, we're looking at 123, another 4%, 130. The 7th of February public bank has the analyst at 105. There you go. So we already hit the target profit already, more than 10%. So Hibiscus, it's good to take a little bit of profit, and before you see any weakness. This morning is still up 3%. Yes, that's right, because of the overnight war looming in here, 3% in here. And that's why we see the uptrust, it's still holding up on the KLCI. If you go back to the dashboard, and right, you can see market has turned back to positive. So the market didn't really fall off as much as we could. Yeah, interesting to see what we have. All right, and let's look at another one, which is revenue, and that will be the stocks I want to be looking at. Let's take a look at revenue. And if you want me to do the same review, just like what I did for revenue and Hibiscus, just pencil those in here. We have CM here with GDB, and revenue is down 2.36% into the e-digital payment services, right? No NA because PE is very high. Return on equity is very low. You can see, but it did make high. I think the news was due to the, yeah, that's right. Revenue main market transfer on February 14. So you can see February 14 was somewhere around here, right? But the early one, this was the one, then quickly profit take it, a nice shakeout in here, then the market moved from about 150 to 175 right now in here. It's good to take a little bit of profit. I think I would myself. You can see 36%, 30%. So right now it's 9. And we are in the early stages of the year. That's right. That's why you can see the seasonal monthly return. If you've seen right enough, you probably have a good flare of the kind of return that you have. And you look at the show me the money with a $10,000 investment, current investment will be 47,000, right? Which is around the 300 to 433% return. Isn't that great? I think so, right? Yep. Of course, when you compare to the sector average, revenue is not one of the best in here. But having said that, that's pretty good. Now, all right, and just another market promotion in here. Our free market conference for 2022. Do share this with your friends, your colleagues who are interested in learning about the market, the new way path to the stock market analysis with two international Wyckoff VSA expert, Ramon and Dr. Gary in here. They'll be here on March 12th on Zoom in here. And not to forget our favorite CFO from Kellington in here to talk about is the semiconductor industry really see what it sees, or would it have more upside from here? Of course, right now we into our stock review in here. If you have any stocks that you want me to look at, feel free to pencil in there. And early on we have GDB. Okay, let me just bring up GDB here. So this is GDB, 6 out of 8. The first thing I look at, very good. Analyst has it at 63 cents so you got an upside of 50% in here, a lot of safety, right? And what do they do? So I just mouse on. What do they do? They do all residential, residential, profitable business. You can see a line change just yesterday here. All right, now remember this is a construction company. You can look back last year, that was the big fall. And if there is a market recovery, I think if you hold this for longer term, you can still make money. But the market fell off 10% in here. Usually stocks that is below 50 cents, these are generally in here. I think this is a good longer term investment, at least holding up for more than 9 months to 12 months. Certainly you'll definitely make money. Shorter term, yes, already green pentagon in here. And it's a growth stock. It's a FADO, pay about 3% dividend. That's why it is a long term, right? Say it's up here. But the floating shares, it's a red flag because it is very low. So generally can be easily manipulated. All right. So that's how we want to use the SMARTRobie in here for these purposes. GDB in here. All right, if and any other news, construction KDA, I think that's the one they were involved in the Kedah construction arrested. They are construction holder. Okay. Yep, bottom up. Okay, any stocks that you want me to look at? Okay, we got Meifeng Opcon. Okay, first thing, Opcon doesn't fall into it. It's green pentagon, but there was a sell-off yesterday, but today sort of holding back in here. Yeah, it's still a nice green bar, but do be careful when you have a huge sell-off that we seen last night, and you go back to the last 6 months. Not bad. It's a nice. We got a lot of uptrust taken out of trust, so this is a pullback, and today holding up. And if it does have a little bit of what we call a shakeout, then you can see this market will go up. What, 142% last year? This year is already up 12% in here. And if you look back, all the profit that were made was actually from last year. Opcon right now, it's 108, right? And this is where the big make off, long period congestion. You have to wait a bit more in here, okay? The market, let's take a look on the Opcon using the market stages. Okay, there you go, 41% in here. So that's why we see the pullback. GCB has a safety of negative. Does the signal mean potential risk? GCB, Dom was asking about GCB, okay? GCB have a 43%. What it means that there's no safety or margin. Basically, the stocks is a bit overpriced. Now, if you look at it, how do we know that? You put GCB, right? Because your PE is about 20 times, okay? PE is about 20 times, but your ROE should be higher, all right? And if you want to go a bit more, you can go over to financials and you go over to TradingView, stock trend, right? You can see this is what we are talking about in here. And we should wait for this to come out. The earnings, this is why we saw the net profit from 7% to 6%. Switch to a quarterly chart here. You can see this is why we are seeing the net profit dipping lower. You see that? 36, 34. All right. So usually, if of course if the net income were to go higher, GCB will boom 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 jalan already lah. But right now you can see we have a line change, reopening of the market. So maybe Q4, which is due for reporting, likely to go up. And most important is the profit margin expansion, which I talk about in some of the seminars in here. So catch me again, I'll be talking those deep value in here. But this is more of, learning from what we have in those deep value courses that we have and then bringing back in here. You can see here in 5 more days, GCB is coming up. So who knows, if the Q4 21 is good, then the market will push back up again. But I think if you have gone in on GCB here, it's a good attempt. Whether the recovery that we've seen, but we always seen Carlsberg doing well, I think, of the recovery. So generally, when food product is up, these things will also go up. All right, we got May here on KAB. So on KAB here is, this one is a bit expensive. So this generally, you can see here, right? 90%, really bullish. It's a trading stocks. Fundamental wise hasn't proved its merits yet. You can see PE is a bit, the ROE is only 5 times, so 40% in here. Continue to run your profit, I would say, on these stocks in here. You can see going back to last year, there was a 47. This year is already up 50% already, okay? So you can see average return is about 43, 50. So you're already up 52%, so take some profit lah, okay? Don't try to go in now lah. If May, I hope that you are not going in, probably thinking to take profit. Now, if you are going in, find out the reason why you go in, because it's really moving up, and that's why we recommend our members and some of you who are more matured in their trading process. I'm not saying that, okay, let's take a look at what I mean here. Let's look at KAB. But I think you should have gone in during the first Pentagon. Am I right? Okay, you've gone in the first Pentagon, and that's why I'm talking about 78% again, and you're hitting the old high also. It's going to retest back the red danger zone here. So make sure you have a copy of this to consistently know your thing. So if the market were to drop a bit more, take some profit in here. Hasn't hit 8 years yet, but you have a no demand in here. That's looking very good. So that would be, if I look at it, my KAB, my short-term support will be at 31 cents, which is quite far out, okay? And you got resistance at 41. That's a one in here. 44. I think you want to take a bit profit at 44 cents, 41 cents. 31 is a longer term. ATR is at the 34 cents. ATR is 34 cents in here, okay? So that using that will give you some sort of market in here. Okay, we got Jessica with Swift. Let's look at the 360 in here. Okay, we got a 404 in here. We have to see. Okay, let me look at the Swift here. Swift is it's a new stock. Okay, so it's a new stock. SMARTRobie need a bit more time to get into it, but we do inform usually on the new stock, it's very, very hard to look at it because there is no background story to tell us. All right, there's not enough chart and all things like that, so it's very difficult to paint a picture for Swift inside here. Usually this is, you got to go back to your prospectus and look at the outcome of the market. Technically wise, you can see Swift open, sell down. Wow, that's a lot, isn't it? If you take from here, I think listing price will be here lah. Sell down, wow, yeah, lose 30% already. So it's really a big swing. Very tough to really make money on some of these stocks inside here. All right, we got another one. Our member here, Lai, we put PA. So let's go back to here. PA, yeah, PA Resources. Good one. You can see first thing I always look at SMARTRobie here. 4 out of 8, that's pretty good. Okay, and you have safety margin, which is pretty good. You can see, what did they do, PA? Aluminium extrusion. Yeah, we know the aluminium prices has gone up. Today is up 1%. Continue to run it as the steel prices are getting strong, which is the industrial in here, right? And that's why we have this market. Okay, 90% in here. First profit target 43. 43 is almost there, Dila. Then you want to go for 46, which is going to the 6 months here. You can see, which is around here. The 45, 46, this is the old high here. That could be another hit in here. Okay, PNB Tech. Masters, we're going to come back for Masters. PNB Tech continue to, now remember I was talking PNB Tech with with a client of mine yesterday. Today up 6%. It has gone really parabolic. Okay, you can see the big takeoff. Today it's going to retest back the 19 ringgit in here, likely to form a double top in here and also take out. Notice the volume is very high. And if you go to our PNB tag using the peak valley. Now the peak valley is a very good analysis tool, and I do recommend all of you to have it together with our TradeVSA package in here. And PNB tag, all right, you can see market hit 64%, 200%. Now if any suggestion that we have, right, this is still okay to carry. You can see we got the online still above the green line in here, right, but it has run a fair bit. Really do take note from the base inside here. And last round that he had a big run was 200%, a couple of 7%, 151%. Can this become another big run? But usually I will be very careful because this could be the so-called final wave of the Wyckoff wave. And if you do have a good profit, take a bit. It's gone parabolic today. But if the also because of the Ukraine and Russia war, and that's why this thing, if the war doesn't happen, the market cannot. So usually just take half first. Okay, let's go at Masters. Masters is packaging, I think. Master pack, very good, 7 out of 8, good dividend, good ROE. Then you can see Master, very nice one. This one definitely a long-term stock because you have everything out from 7 out of 8 in here. Today is not going that much. What do they do? Corrugated boxes. Okay, again, economic reopening. That's why we see the industrial products. If you go back to the dashboard, the industrial products, yeah, there the industrial products is here. Okay, and definitely on the foreign funds flows, you can see foreign funds is coming in to buy, and maybe we won't see the sell-off that we're seeing unless they start to sell off in here, the outflows. Then we'll see it in here. So far, so good. So here, all right. Okay, so I suppose we will stop here. Thank you for sharing, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel in here, and do share our Telegram chat room so you'll be informed for all our free educational courses which uses our TradeVSA analytics and our signature SMARTRobie in here. And thank you for coming. We really cherish your time and also your input in here, and have a good day. For our masterclass students and those of you who have signed up for masterclass, we begin tonight at 8 o'clock and we'll continue on Monday. And just to inform, the next week, Monday and Wednesday breakfast show will be cancelled. We'll continue on Friday as I'll be busy with my masterclass student because you guys have put in your time and your investment. It's time for us to train you to get to the level of proficiency as a trader, as an investor, so you take opportunity. Thank you again. Thank you for coming. Bye-bye.